No match to review this week as the lads get a much deserved break. So I asked you to send in some questions and thank you very much, you did. I will be talking about my favourite Liverpool flops, thoughts on the new kit, that's been the new rumoured kit, my unpopular Liverpool opinion, and I'll be discussing the dichotomy of good versus evil. Anyway, flops. Every club has their flops, but I'm going to go through the ones that I in particular had high hopes for and just kind of never happened. First one, Robbie Keane, my man. So he had only 28 appearances for Liverpool, 7 goals, lasted only 6 months. And I tell you, this one was disappointing. It just never worked out. I thought the idea of Ireland's main man hooking up with my main man, Fernando Torres, leading Liverpool's attack, given the number 7, I was like, oh, brilliant. I mean, 6 months. I mean, that's embarrassing. That's embarrassing for the club. It's embarrassing for him to only last. I mean, he seemed to really want to go to Liverpool. And I really wanted him to do well. He scored a couple of braces. His big highlight was probably that screamer he scored against Arsenal.
Lagger's ball may find Robbie Keane here and he's in. Oh, what a goal! Robbie Keane silences the Boo Boys at the Emirates.
A few things that I think are unfortunate about this. Him and Benitez, they obviously didn't really like each other. I don't know if this was a Benitez signing or not. And you know what? This is a total aside. I think that's one of Liverpool's worst kit combos in recent history. I just never liked it. I hate that all of Keane's memories are in that horrible kit, that horrible grey one. Ugh.
Fucking hell.
He shipped back to Spurs. Liverpool accepting a £7 million loss. Spurs were like. I remember soon after Keane left, Virgin had billboards of like a return to London from Liverpool faster than Robbie Keane. Next, Andy Carroll. Wow, what a mad deadline day this was. Liverpool, what's the term? Raised a few eyebrows with their £35 million bid for Andy Carroll. It was a mad deadline day in terms of excitement where you're like, what is going on? Torres has just gone to Chelsea. We're signing Andy Carroll for 35 million. After we'd already signed Suarez. Oh, imagine, they're so close. Technically Suarez and Torres were in the same team for like a week. What could have been? So, obviously the 35 million fee is what gets talked about, but Liverpool had just sold Torres for 50 million to Chelsea an hour before. And by the way, just on Torres, I remember when he went to Chelsea for 50 million, I was thinking like, fuck. I was sad when Torres left. And then it just went so bad for Torres at Chelsea. I was like, before he went to Chelsea, if someone would mention Torres, I'd be like, ah, oh, what a man. And then after Chelsea, I'd be like, yeah. It was like, Torres going to Chelsea was like, it was like me or you. It was like we quantum leaped into the body of a £50 million striker who just did not know how to play football. And we were like, you got to help me, Al. Andy Carroll scored 11 goals in 58 appearances for Liverpool. Not the worst record. He's like Crouchy. He's like Crouchy, but he can fucking smash it. And turned out he wasn't like Crouchy. Andy Carroll was one I really wanted him to do well. I have an affinity for long-haired strikers. I make no apologies for that. His big highlights were pretty much single-handedly destroying City 3-0.
Ambitious, but that's Carroll. Oh, brilliant! What a strike by Andy Carroll. It's his first Liverpool goal. Another assistant towards Carroll. Oh, that's brilliant.
And when I thought, here he is.
I'm very aroused.
And then he'd get injured and then not be able to get a run of form back. He scored the late winner in an FA Cup semi-final against Everton.
Wembley momentarily hushed. Bellamy it is. And Carroll's head. Liverpool lead with 4 minutes to play.
And he scored in the final that Liverpool lost, but he scored in that as well. He just always came up short of expectations. It was a shame. I always wished him well. He seemed like he was really trying, you know. Yeah. Joe Cole, 42 games, 5 goals, you slags. I tell you, I had such high hopes when I learned that Liverpool were signing Joe Cole in, what was it, 2010. I was like, he is good.
Breaks here for Joe Cole. Oh, brilliant! Just brilliant!
I was like, he's fucking good. Yes. Got sent off in his debut. He was one of those free transfers, but on huge wages. Just never really got going, did he? He was signed under the Hodgson era.
Fucking hell.
Speaking of worst signings, this isn't one that I was rooting for, but I just want to chat about it. Hadji Diouf, remember him?
Scum, subhuman scum.
80 appearances, 6 goals. I tell you, it annoys me that he has worn the esteemed red of Liverpool. Just a wrongin'. A strong contender for one of the worst signings in the club's history. Not just in terms of on-field ability, but character-wise also. Scored on his debut, to be fair to him. Prick. And he just didn't. He spat at a Celtic fan in some game. But he does have one record that he'll be proud of. He is the only number 9 in Liverpool's history to have failed to score in an entire season for the 2003-2004 season. He left for Bolton that summer. All the best. Now, unpopular Liverpool opinion. I got one. I believe that the red net era of about 10 years ago aesthetically ruined a lot of very good goals from Sturridge and Suarez in particular. And we scored some good goals in that time. And I just always hated that red net. Ugh. But just something taken away from them, that red net. Aesthetically, I did not like it. It's like those old goals, you know, like the 90s goals where the net only goes back a tiny bit. Ugh. Made me fucking sick. Like the Newcastle 4-3.
Ferdinand!
Ugh. The fuck out of here. Gotta stop swearing. It's just me. I don't know. What's your unpopular Liverpool opinion? Hit me up in the comments and let me know, what is your unpopular Liverpool opinion? I would love to know. That's what I really want to know. Let me know. Here's another thing I love to see in football, just as a random aside. Now, this is so basic, but it's the whole thing of someone gets fouled, they're rolling around, doing the whole act, you know they're not really injured. They don't get a free and the play continues. I'm laser focused on that player then. The rest of the match is going on here. I'm like, I want to see how he does it. How does he decide how long to keep rolling around? He looks like, oh, I better. And he has to get back up and do the whole act of like, oh, limping a little bit for a few steps. And then he's totally fine. I'm like, you fucking liar. Or if the ball comes to him straight away, then he's just cured. Totally cured. I'm obsessed with seeing like the psychology of players, like, how much of this are they going to act out, or are they just going to be like, fuck it, okay, I didn't get it. Now, not quite football related, this question, but it got a few likes. The Rock versus Austin at Wrestlemania 2001. Who you sided with and why? Great question. Now, for those of you who may not remember, obviously The Rock and Austin were the two biggest heels in the company. I was 15 at the time, and this, if you remember, this was when Austin turned heel, which means became a bad guy, and sided with his arch nemesis, Vince McMahon, who I was rooting for. I actually think I was genuinely rooting for both. I think I was more of a Rock man at that point, but I was back and forth. They were my two guys. The best thing I remember about that, though, was the promo. Now, if you grew up around the same time I did, you'll know that those WWE promos in the early 2000s were, And now, I'm not a Limp Bizkit fan, but they had a promo with My Way by Limp Bizkit for The Rock and Austin. Oh my God. I'll just play a bit of it. That's how you do it. So good. It's the only Limp Bizkit song that I really listen to because I'm thinking of the promo. The dichotomy of good and evil. Now, you're trying to catch me out here, but luckily I have a degree in philosophy, ethics, and morality, so now who's a smart guy, huh? I suppose you could say the dichotomy of good and evil. It's like a cosmic tug of war between two opposing forces. Good is the hero saving the day, while evil is the mischievous villain stirring up trouble. And the line between right and wrong is a narrative tightrope. Now, last but not least, the new rumoured kit. Two things come to mind straight away. Love the body. Love all this. Hate the collar, and I don't like the crest. I don't like collars on kits anyway. Don't really like this thing that they got going on here. I don't like the badge behind the crest. I like that they're trying things. You can only go for the simple look so much. It's fine. I'm not like, oh my god. All in all, the body is nice. The body on that, I like it. I'd give it a 7 out of 10.
I'll give him 7 out of 10.
Bastard.
The big question is, what's the font going to be on the back for the player name and number? That's what I want to know. Because that could make or break a jersey right there. Give me this sort of font. Nice sort of outlined, bit of a border on it. Nice, easy to read. Well, I'll tell you what I don't want is this monstrosity. This Knights of the Round Table font that we got going here for a while. Didn't like that. I also wasn't a fan of this. The colours just don't pop. You know, I'm a fontsman. What's the font like? My father was a fontsman, and his father before him. But yeah, I'll take it. 7 out of 10. Show me that font on the back. That's all I gotta say. I'm just taking the piss here today, really. I'll try and get back before the end of the week with a bit of an update on Salah and Endo, how they're getting on. And then normal service will resume next Monday. Thank you very much for the questions. Again, sorry if I didn't get to yours. And thank you very much for the support. Up the Reds, that's cold.